Shalom Yeladim. It's time to learn the Parsha. This week's Parsha is Parshat Pinchas. The Parsha of the week is Pinchas, Pinchas, Pinchas. The Parsha of the week is Pinchas, Pinchas. Your turn. The Parsha of the week is Pinchas, Pinchas, Pinchas. The Parsha of the week is Pinchas, Pinchas. Well, when the Torah calls a parsha by a name, then we know that we have somebody to learn about. Sometimes the name of a parsha is a name of a person that we do not want to be like Korach or Balak. But sometimes the parsha is named after a person that we want to be like and we want to learn from their behavior, like Noach or Chaye Sarah, or this week's parsha, Pinchas. What was special about Pinchas that a whole parsha is named after him? Well, let's find out. Last week, at the end of the parsha, Bilam, the magician, the Navi, was not able to curse the Bnei Israel. But before he left Balak, the king, and before he left Moab and went back home, he gave Balak a little bit of advice. He said, if you really want to conquer the Bnei Israel, then you must cause them to do Averos. Because when they do an Avera, then Hashem doesn't protect them. As long as they're following the mitzvot, Hashem will protect them and you will never win. But if you cause them to do an Avera, then Hashem will not protect them and you will be the winner. Balak thought about that and he came up with a very sneaky plan. He sent very beautiful women from Moab and from Midian to go and be givers of bread and water and niceties, nice foods, to the Bnei Israel that were camping in front of them. The Bnei Israel were very thankful for these girls coming, but slowly, instead of just giving them food, instead of them giving them just things to drink, these girls started teaching them about Avodah Zarah, about worshiping idols, other Hashems. And amongst Klal Yisrael, there were people who did not have a strong Yetzer HaTov, and they listened to the Yetzer Hara, and they started listening to these girls and going to the Avodah Zarah that was called Baal Peor. And they started worshiping these idols instead of sending these girls away and saying, no, we have our Hashem. We don't need any other Hashem. They listened to the Yetzer Hara. And as soon as Hashem saw that Klal Yisrael was not listening to the Torah, were not listening to mitzvot, and listening to the Yetzer Hara, Hashem sent them a punishment to remind them to stop. Well, amongst those people that were listening to these beautiful ladies were the men from the Shevet of Shimon. Not only did lots of people from the Shevet of Shimon listen to the Yetzer Hara and not follow the Torah, but even the prince, the Nasi of Shevet Shimon, his name was Zimri, he started getting close and being friendly with the daughter of King Balak. Her name was Cosbi. Hashem was not happy. Hashem sent a sickness amongst all of Klal Yisrael. And whoever were listening to these women of Midian and Moab, whoever went to worship, to go to the idols of Baal Peor, they started getting very sick. Well, when the Nasi saw the punishment was coming, he knew that he was going to be punished as well. So he went over to Moshe and he said, "Hey, you are just like us. We are taking wives who are non-Jews and we're making them our wives. Didn't you take Zipporah to be your wife? Wasn't she the daughter of Yisro? Didn't she come from a country that is not our own, from Midian?" Whoa, Moshe was so shocked by the chutzpah of Zimri that he couldn't even speak. It was not true what he said. First of all, when Moshe Rabbeinu married Zipporah, it was way before the Torah was given. And secondly, Zipporah became a Gioret. She became a Jewish Bas Yisrael. She was no longer a Midianite. Very different than these women who the Shevet of Shimon were taking as their wives. Well, Pinchas, the grandson of Aaron HaKohen, the son of Elazar, he remembered the halacha. He remembered what the Torah says. And he stood up for the name of Hashem. And he was not a warrior. He had never gone to war before in his life because he came from the Shevet of Levi. And the Shevet of Levi never went to war. But he took a spear in his hand and he killed Zimri and Cosbi. And as soon as he did that, the sickness stopped. He stood up for the name of Hashem. He was not afraid that Cosbi was the daughter of the king Balak. He was not afraid of the rest of the Shevet of Shimon that would come and be angry at him for killing the Nasi of the Shevet of Shimon. He was not afraid. He was only going to do the Ratzon Hashem. He only wanted the name of Hashem to be great. And he wanted to make a Kiddush Hashem. Make the name of Hashem great in the eyes of everybody. Not what Bnei Yisrael were doing. They were pulling down the name of Hashem. They were making chas v'chalila a chilul Hashem. When Hashem saw what Pinchas did, he called Moshe Rabbeinu and said, "This Pinchas is so very loved in my eyes. He is so special that I am going to make him a Kohen Gadol. And from him are going to be Kohanim Gadolim. He is going to make the name of Hashem great forever. I am going to give him a bris shalom. Don't let anybody think that Pinchas was an angry man. I have a special agreement with him. He is going to bring shalom into the world. And that's what happened. Pinchas lived for 400 years. And after 400 years, he did not pass away. HaKadosh Baruch Hu took him up to Shemayim and told him that one day he was going to be the Eliyahu HaNavi that would come and announce Mashiach coming to us. He was going to bring shalom to the world. Let it be known that Pinchas was an Ohev Shalom. He loved peacefulness. He loved people getting along with one another. He was the grandson of Aaron, who was Ohev Shalom, V'rodev Shalom. But when he saw what needed to be done, even though it was a very strong action, he did it right away, without thinking twice. That's why the Parsha is named after him. That's how we need to be. When a mitzvah comes our way, we need to jump on it. And when we have a chance to do a Kiddush Hashem, when everyone around us is maybe not behaving like they should, we have to remember Pinchas. We have to say we're not afraid to tell everyone to speak nicely. We are not afraid to tell everybody to behave in a better way. We are going to be like the students, like the Talmidim of Pinchas. We are going to make a Kiddush Hashem wherever we are. And we're going to continue with the Parsha next time.